Taught millions of persons comatose, labored shallow breathing, turning blue from lack of oxygen, deny rescue breathing, and pound on a beating heart. I sent an email to Margaret Thompson, MD, the director of the Ontario and Manitoba Poison Control Centre. Why was this freely available and downloadable to the general public on the Ontario Poison Control Centre's website? Because, doctor, laypersons will eagerly give you chest compressions if you wind up comatose because of an injury or illness. Think about it. Dr. Thompson. Response from the doctor. Next slide. Yeah. Well, yeah, there's more people poisoned in the province than there is from cardiac arrest. There's 50,000 poisonings alone in the province, right? Only 15,000 out of hospital cardiac arrest in the province. Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, yeah. Most young children, 28%, what is it? The majority of the poisonings are children because they'll eat anything, you know? And you don't want parents, you imagine the trauma going through parents. It was up on the Ontario Poison Control Centre to give chest compressions only for opioid overdose. I've got conversations with Margaret Thompson. She's the director. You know Margaret personally. I got emails from her. I talked to her staff. God. Well, she writes, well, her statement was something, well, yeah, it's respiratory assist, but then up on their website was chest compressions only. I go, what? You say one thing and do another. And her staff all knows what's going on. And unbelievable, we've got 15,000 pharmacists in this province handing out the wrong information. And every pharmacist knows it's wrong. Yeah, it's rampant. No, it's, yeah, 90% of it. I've been interviewed by the press many times. It gets thrown on the cutting room floor. They use a tiny snippet about a different story they asked me a question about. I was at the legislature when we had 1,000 doctors sign a letter and hand delivered it to Kathleen Wynne back in August 2017, I don't know, yeah, something like that, when she was premier anyway. Unbelievable. Yeah. 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 I'm surprised you don't know about it, about this issue. Well, in the press, newspapers, you'll see chest compression, CPR, mentioned over and over again for opioid overdose, like with cases when they're talking about cases that people responded to. Yeah. I don't know. Well, it's causing post-traumatic stress with EMS, fire, and the police departments. Because they're showing up on scene on a regular basis, people being maltreated. Because they were instructed to. When someone in authority in the medical field tells you to do something, they're eagerly following orders. Yeah, I know, yeah. But intuition tells them it's what they taught was wrong. Intuition alone. Yeah. You know, 'cause, I took it in grade 2. I still got my grade 2 school workbook. We talked all about it. Yeah, talked all about it in Cub Scouts. That's the first time I got certified, my first aid badge. We talked about rescue breathing because children suffer respiratory emergencies, right? So they taught us rescue breathing. You know, you get a babysitter's license from the St. John ambulance or whatever. They're going to stress rescue breathing. Anyway. Yeah, I was the 20th person to take the training in September 2011. The 20th person in North America, and they've been spreading it all across. It all started in Toronto, September 2011. I left there shaking. Yeah, compressions only. And do you know what the nurse told me? She says that chest compressions, hard and fast on the center of the chest. I says, how deep? She says, right to the floorboards. And I'm going, to the tune of staying alive, eh? And I go, what's this staying alive? She hums a few bars. Do you know what I said? I says, I don't know no disco. Where's the head for this resus mannequin? I'll tell you what to do. I left there shaking my head. And then they lie and they threaten me. I got my life threatened by Toronto Public Health. Yeah. Unbelievable. And I laughed. I says, you can't kill me. I don't die when I die. What corner, what time you want me to stand there? The eyes put the fear of the baby Jesus into them. I wonder what happened when they went and told their supervisor what when they threatened me. There was a retired Toronto EMS and an employee at Toronto Public Health says, Gary, let's go for a walk. Okay, let's walk and talk. And then they threaten me. And you know what? The EMS guy, I know him. He asked to borrow $10. So I gave him $10. He needed a drink. Unbelievable. I'm having way too much fun. I got charged with trespass. Way too much. This town is... I came here from Vancouver. No, I'm not a troublemaker. I'm trying to stop it. Oh, they call me a troublemaker, all right. I'm trying to stop the trouble. I know. But it's fun. We're trying to stop it. And I'm going. When I left the office in September 2011, I says, well, dirt's got more brains than this. It'll take a week to stop this. Right around the corner, my general practitioner, eh? I went in there and seen my GP. Well, these people will stop it. The nurse that you see before the doctor, she looks at the protocol. She says, can I borrow this? I'm making 12 copies and having an emergency meeting with the doctors. Yeah, and you know what happens? So she had the emergency meeting with the doctors, and I went in to see my GP. And I says, so what was the outcome of the meeting? She shook her head, and I says, dissonance, doctor. Give me my file. I'm out of here. You're not my GP anymore. The head doctor at the clinic, he turned out to be one of my professors. I took a course. Was one of my professors at the U of T, addictions. Yeah, I know. I'm at a lecture. He's the professor. And he says, oh, it's the Dean of Medicine. What do we owe the pleasure? She goes up to him, and Catherine Whiteside goes up to him, Michael Evans, and says, where's Gary Thompson? She comes over to me, you're Gary Thompson. I hear a lot of great things. Keep up the good fight. I says, Dr. Whiteside, you're the Dean of Medicine. Why you say something? She says, Gary, It's a monster. I says, well, Dr. Whiteside, you don't throw your women and children to a monster and say nothing. Unbelievable. It's coming from the people in authority are afraid to speak up. I got a job. Don't say anything. Yeah. Yeah, no problem, Stephanie. Thanks for the call. And yeah. 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 Well, of course. The greatest gift of all is to save lives. Yeah. And you too, Stephanie. Yeah. Yeah. If you want my email or anything, phone me later after your meeting or whatever. Feel free to call. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Yeah. Well, the Twitter. Do you know what I usually did on Twitter? I just write, and the grammar's bad and everything. But I was published in the Resuscitation Guidelines, Emergency Medicine News, British Medical Journal, all over the place. Yeah. Yeah. Have a good one. Yes, ma'am. Thanks for the call. Bye-bye. Child knows what they're doing is wrong. Stop living in denial. Read the comment box for the medical information and think and save your own lives. Jeepers.